Hello, YouTube. I am back. Um, yeah, it's been a while. Things have been pretty tough, but I, yeah, I don't know. I always like start off my videos apologizing for my absence, but I keep saying that I'm not going to do that. I do really try to film as much as I can when I can, and when things are tough, I just feel like I can't. I can't. it's it's hard. So yeah, today I just wanted to kind of come back and check in and kind of talk about what I've been struggling with a lot right now. And it's kind of around the idea that I just feel like I don't really have a place in the world right now, in society, ever since I got sick. And I mean, even before that, although I was able to mask a lot and pretend like I was okay and I really was trying to be a part of the rat race. Yeah, so for you that are new here and don't know me, my name is Casey, and I got really sick 2 years ago with something called functional neurological disorder. Just kind of where the brain and the body don't communicate properly, and it can cause a lot of symptoms. Mine were seizures and tics and weakness, so I couldn't really walk. I was in a wheelchair for a while. Also, a lot of fatigue and concentration issues and nerve pain. Oh, I feel like the list just goes on and on and on, but those are like the main big ones. Yeah, I think that I thought I would be more better than I am now after being sick for 2 years and coming up on my 2 year anniversary a couple months ago in February. That like I'm not where I want to be in my life right now, and that's been really, really hard. I also just turned 27, and I think I'm starting to get like the scaries of almost being 30, and like just in the eyes of society, I'm not doing well, and it's hard because I try to just remember that society just has a lot of unrealistic expectations from people. And if you're not doing XYZ, then like you're not enough. And when I'm by myself, I can like realize these things and come back to myself and remember what is important and like find joy and peace and happiness within myself. But then I go out into the world and I spend time with people, and I just feel so less than with what I'm going through. And it's been really friggin' hard. And I think too now, I've been grieving a lot about the life that I had and that I wish I could have, and trying to accept where I'm at, and then also trying to reintegrate into society as I am now as someone with a disability. And I mean, um, I'm autistic as well, so I guess I've always had a disability, but now it's um, more worse now that I have FND, and you can really see it now. I can't hide it as much. And so, yeah, things that I've been trying to do, which I just am amazed. And maybe because I live in like a northern BC town, a very small town, I think we're like behind in a lot of ways. Um, there just isn't a lot of opportunities to kind of be integrated into society. And I think things that have been said to me have made me feel like I'm almost just a big burden on the system and society, and like I don't deserve to have disability pay, or like my place at a lot of things that make me feel really sad, and I think have questioned my worth by not being able to be a workhorse and contribute, I guess. And it's not like I'm purposely wanting to be this way and not be able to do as much as others. So I think I just have a hard time trying to even like validate myself and the things that I want, and like whose responsibility is it to like look after me or help me to feel wanted by the world. It's been this big thing that I'm trying to work through, and I'm trying to differentiate like my thoughts and feelings from the things that have been said to me. Yeah. Anyways, that's one of the things that I've been really wanting is to like, maybe go back to work or even like volunteer just to like get us that sense of being in a workplace again. And I do just miss being in community. And so, one of the things that has been really hard for me is trying to get a volunteer position at a yoga studio, where you're a karma yogi and you just clean like a couple hours a week and trade for yoga classes. And I wasn't really like upset the fact that they chose someone over me, but it was like how they went about it. They kind of questioned my ability, and then in the end said that like they chose someone who was more able to do the job. And I think it's just the wording, like, first off, I wouldn't apply for something that I didn't think I would be capable for. And someone like doubting my abilities because I have a disability is like really disheartening and discouraging for me to even put myself out there. Like, I feel very ashamed and embarrassed to share what I experience because of judgment from people and then having them judge what they think my abilities are instead of just trusting me to know what my abilities are. I don't know. It was really hard. And then I was like, whatever, it's just this yoga studio. And then I applied, or kind of was wanting to apply to go to an ashram, a yoga ashram, which is like a yoga community, to do a karma yoga program, which would have been 2 months. And so I did like a group kind of interview. So there was a bunch of us who were interested, and we did like a Zoom call. And I was really lucky to be grouped in with this other person who had a chronic illness. And when we kind of, or I think I asked, like, what are the like accommodations for someone with a disability? Like, maybe different sort of work tasks. Like, I might not be able to work in the sun all day long, but I might be able to like sit in the kitchen and like help prep things or do dishes, at different days, different things. And they pretty well just said like, don't apply if you're not fully like able bodied, because if we had to accommodate one person, then we're gonna have to accommodate everyone else. And me and this other person were like mortified because like, I don't know, personally, I just didn't like the answer. Like, I feel like yoga is for everyone, and like if you're volunteering, like, I don't know, it's just really weird for me because like I feel like it just seems like if you're not super able-bodied and able to do absolutely everything that someone asks of you, then aren't worth you aren't worth it. And that really broke my heart and made me just really realize the world that we live in. And it also just makes me feel so sorry and so sad too for people who have been disabled, I guess, longer than I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but like I just didn't realize what it was like to live in this kind of world like this. And yeah, it really sucks. It's really heartbreaking. I think that like yeah, I did want to make this video to just kind of like make more awareness about that and like have this conversation because it's sad and it's hard and it's so lonely. Like, I just feel like there's all these things that I wanted to achieve, and I thought that just because I had a disability, it's okay and I still can go forward and live my life. And like, here I am being shot down for volunteer positions, like, let alone if I try to apply for like a paid position. Like, it just seems so like unattainable and like just so depressing. Like, yeah, I just feel really sad and like I feel vulnerable when I share with people that I have like a disability. Like, it's something that I'm having a really hard time being open about and that I struggle. Like, I feel like I can't even really talk about it with friends and family, and to just like tell a stranger what I'm going through and then having them be like, yeah, no. I'm just like mortified and it makes me want to hide. So, yeah, I am in this like really weird place that I'm like trying to put myself out there and just being like constantly shot down. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it hurts. And like, yeah, I've applied to a few like really part time places because like I don't for like actually being paid work, I don't know what it's gonna be like because I haven't had the opportunity to even volunteer to see where like my energy levels are at. And like I feel like such a burden to even ask, like, hey, can like I have this illness and like I'm autistic, like I need to maybe try out a few different ways of the job and see like what it is I need, whether more or less hours or like, I can only do a few of this. Cause like there's so many things I struggle with and it's tough. I feel like I could just cry right now because like I am struggling financially. Um yeah, disability I am so grateful to have some money come in, but disability doesn't pay that much. And so now that I have my own place too, I don't have that much money. I can barely afford to buy groceries. Um yeah, I'm going through a really hard time. There's a lot of times where like I don't have food in the fridge and I don't have money to buy food. And um yeah, it's been really tough. It's been really hard. I feel a lot of the times like people in my life are just kind of over it and they're bored of whatever Casey's going through, like move on. And this is my reality now. This is my life and it's really hard to feel so alone. And I think if I lived in like a bigger community, I think that I could be able to like connect with more people with disability who maybe like understand what I'm going through. But I feel like I can't even really accommodate myself now, like even trying to unmask for my autism. I want to like wear headphones in public and I feel like I can't even do that. I feel horribly ashamed of myself. And it's really sad because I don't have negative feelings towards other people with disability. I just like, feel like people judge me. Like, I feel like I'm being perceived. And like, I also do see other people judge other people with disabilities. And it's hard. I feel really horribly vulnerable being myself. And, that's why I did mask all these years so that I didn't have to be maybe even rejected as a person, but I just feel like if I am able to do these certain things, I would be able to be more comfortable in the world. Um, yeah. Sorry, this is like a bit of a sad video. I am really struggling to figure out how I can look after myself, how I can set boundaries with people in my life, how I can show up for myself and like allow myself to just be like, ugh, it's so tough. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't really know what else I have much to say on this topic. I just really wanted to touch in about like the fact that I'm trying to look for work and like what it's been like living alone and even just like struggling day to day with the ability to drive. Like it's not, yeah, I have a lot of days where I can't drive and then it makes me panic too because there is times where I feel like I'm not even well enough to cook for myself and yeah, I feel like people are tired of me asking for help and I think like I need to look into like some sort of more professional help. We do have some things offered for like home care needs. And then also we have something called Work BC, which I think might be able to find me a job with my disability. I am going to look into that. It is just a lot of work. I feel really tired. My fatigue has been really bad. Yeah, just managing a lot of stress with things in my life. Um, but yeah, some positive things. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to my yoga retreat um, in 2 weeks almost. It's a 4-day yoga retreat for May long, and there's horseback riding, and it's camping, and it's in a town 3 hours away from me. And I thought I was going to drive myself, but that is not happening. But I was able to actually find someone to carpool with, which I'm so grateful for. So I am trying to find more ways that I can accommodate because I was just going to cancel the retreat, but then I was like, no, okay, I can like reach out and ask if there's someone in near me that I can hop in with, right? So I am really excited about that. And then I'm also running a sober support tent at a music festival in my town. It's called Valhalla Fest, I think that's what it's called. Terrace Valhalla Music Festival. It's like a electric EDM, electronic music festival, and then also acoustic music and like art and marketplace. It's really, really wonderful. So I'm really excited to be able to offer a sober support booth with some friends. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else. There's a few music things this year that I would like to attend, and just I'm just excited for summer to try and like keep getting my health back and walking more. I did do a few hikes, which I am absolutely so excited about. But yes, after the hiking, the day after, even though it was like up to a week after, I am horribly in pain and very, very tired. So I am trying to allow a lot more rest and without being so sad about it. Yeah. I think that there's always going to be continually trying to work on radical acceptance and yeah, just being. Also I dyed my hair like a it was super bright pink. Yeah, and like kind of even a rosy gold color or strawberry blonde. I have gone through a few washes, so it has lightened up a lot. Um, I do find it washes me out a bit, so I might try to go for a darker pink and kind of let my roots darken up. But yeah, I turned 27, so I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to get creative, get more artsy, like really just um, dive into myself. So I've always loved creative self expression. So I dyed my hair all by myself. It was a bit of work because my hair is quite dark. Anyways, guys, this video is getting a bit long, so I am just so grateful to always have this platform to share my experience, and I solemnly pray that it helps someone or it just like we connect on our stories. Share with me down below how you feel you've been casted out of society or feel like you don't have a place, and maybe even like what you're doing about it or how you're allowing yourself to be, or communities that you've connected with, or books that you've read, resources, anything. Like, let's try to keep living and keeping ourselves and knowing that we do have a space here and that we're allowed to be. There's nothing wrong with being, and there's nothing wrong with having disabilities. And I tell myself this often, and like I do deeply feel that. It's just sometimes in some spaces I get really discouraged, and I think that's okay too. So thank you so much for watching and being here. Hopefully, I get the courage to make some more videos. Yeah. Anyways, like this video if you liked it, and give me some comments. And if you want to just see more about my life with a disability and chronic illness and autism, give me a follow. I'm so excited. I reached 1,000 followers. Oh, now I just need to get my watch hours up and I can get monetized. This would be amazing for me. I would just be so excited. So thank you guys so much. Goodbye.